right, so now we are going to move on to our topic of the day, which is the confidence of putting you first. So, Vida, you talk a lot about self-love and your 1-2 combo, and all of that, and sort of, and I'll actually backtrack and talk about how I met Vida. So my sister Venecia, works a lot with Ada Rojas, who Botanica Beauty, shout out to Botanica.
Yes.
I haven't bought the products yet, but I'm really excited to
Girl,
try
you
them.
swear by it.
Yeah,
Amazing shit.
I'm super excited, and we're gonna have her on the podcast as well. So we're excited to have her on. They have that hair.
You have hair. You have hair.
And your beard.
Soon, I'm gonna talk to her about that.
Yeah, beard oils. Ooh, Botanica beard oils. I'm gonna text you. So I met her because of my sister, and we grew up Seventh-day Adventists in my family. So not only are we like Christian, it's like a Christian with a mix of like Judaism in it and very hardcore. So the idea of like spirits and all that shit was something that was frowned upon, but not stated as non-existent, just more like of a stay away from that. Right. So I've always had that negative stigma. So when Vanessa had her first reading, she was like, God, and like all these things that she discovered, and like, ooh, and she had like a message for me, and I was like, don't come at me with no fucking message. Like, whatever fad you're going, like, don't come at me with this stuff, because what I love about Venecia is like growing up, I always used to follow her a lot, and I don't like to admit that, but I was like obsessed with my sister when I was younger, and I wouldn't even let her take a shower. I would sit on the toilet while she was in the shower, like, big ass, right? And so the older we got, like the opposite started to happen, and I like wanted my own identity, and anything that she liked, I'd be like, ooh, I shouldn't like that because she likes it. Right. So right, yeah. And so like at first, and she was like, oh no, you should totally do it, blah blah blah, and you should meet all these people, and they're incredible. And I'm like, yeah. Well, so one day we had an event at WeWork that Ada was doing, and Vida was there because it was their vision board workshop, and they, and Vida does readings there as well. And she introduced me to her, and she was like, yeah, she's the one, you have to do a reading with her. And Vida looked at me, she goes, no, she's gonna come to me when she's ready, right? And in my head, I'm like, why is she telling me about herself? Like, she don't want to come. I might never come, and I remember having that energy, and then, seeing, first of all, Venecia sort of like lean into her spirituality and like see things come to fruition for her, I started to get a little jealous. It started to be like, maybe there is something to that. And then like, it's kind of become a bit of a fad, which now that I know more about it, it disappoints me the way in which people take spirituality and make it a fad rather than staying true to like what it is. So, I started to, then people start talking about their astrological signs, people are wearing these stones and all this shit. So I'm like, all right, there must be something here. Let me do a little bit of more digging. And then I was going through some shit, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go to her now. Maybe now's the time. Let me book this. Yeah, let me just book this reading, because Vanessa seemed to get so much clarity, and she was telling me some of the things that you shared with her, and I was like, oh shit, how'd she know that? So then it was just like the sort of like the proof is in the pudding. Right. And I had my reading, and and yes, you do give spiritual spankings in a great way, and in a way that I think is needed, and I think spoke to me more than like if somebody just coming at me and like telling me about myself. Right. You know what I mean? Because the words you were speaking were really coming from my spirit team, and there are things I already knew. Right. And that's why I tell people all the time, like, if whoever works for you, if you do a reading, what you're going to discover is that it's not that they're just telling you, like, it's not like magic, like they're discovering things you don't know about yourself. You know everything. It's the shit that you hide, and like the thoughts that pass through your mind, and you think that they're just a passing thought, and it's really a message being confirmed for you. And so having that confirmation and that confidence is, I think, the first step to self-love. Right. And so in that reading, a lot of things were said to me that like I'm still working on. There's still things that I still haven't sort of like gotten to the end of, but I know that I will get there, and I trust it because that is the message that was given to me, and what's promised for me is promised already. Right. And I'm the only one who has to go get that, right? But the journey there does not look like the journey that everybody else is trying to make me go on, what they want me to do. Right?
Shut the fuck up.
Right. It doesn't work that way. With that, we wanted to talk today, and like, in that sort of spiritual way, but like, even for people who aren't into spiritual shit, there is a moment of confidence.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying fuck that shit.
It's true. It's so commercialized that way, and then you think, well, I'm not into to like, I'm not trying to wear yoga pants and like do all this, right? Like, so sometimes you have that, but even for people who don't go on that spiritual, but you know, and even for some people, like spirituality doesn't look that way, and so like, you know, for me, like there are people who do spiritual practices and do things in their everyday life and they're not even aware. But it all goes back again to the choice of, you know, having the confidence to choose yourself first. So I'd love to hear a little bit from you guys about, you know, what were some of the things that you learned growing up, whether it was TV, at home, school, your neighborhood, that sort of were blockers to the beginning of this journey of self-love?
For me personally, it was what I talk about a lot with my community is about generational curses.
Yeah.
Your ancestors are there to help guide you and to help elevate you.
Yeah.
And they teach us a lot of beautiful, amazing things, how to be strong, how to be resilient, especially in the Black and brown communities, the Latino communities, because that's where I'm from. We're taught to work hard, save your money, you need money, you need to go to school, you need to do this. It's always what you need to do.
Right.
Basically, my ancestors were dictating to me what their opinion was, not my truth. They taught me how to do all these things, but they didn't teach me about emotions. They didn't teach me how to love myself. I can only speak for myself as a woman because that's what I am in this lifetime. And in my culture and in my family, I was taught because I had a vagina that I was supposed to bend over backwards and sacrifice myself for everyone else, including my parents, my grandparents, my cousins, my children, my spouse. I was supposed to sacrifice my dreams, my goals, my aspirations for everybody else. So one minute I'm gonna be happy, and the next minute I want to stab the fucking shit out of my husband. Again, because I was never taught how to deal with my emotions. And again, if you did bring that up, no se habla de lo malo. Then back to that, we don't talk about that. Anything negative, we don't talk about. But I'll be damned if something happens to me, if I'm about to go graduate from school or something, my whole family wants to announce that shit to the whole fucking community. They're like, guess what? She's graduating. But we don't want to talk about the bad.
Right.
So we announce these graduations, we announce these marriage proposals, we announce these baby showers. So we announce it to the community. Now we do that on social media. And then what ends up happening is that that's a positive emotion. People ask about it, so you honor it, you express it, and you let it go. You don't hold the happiness of, let's say, for example, my son's graduation. We're not holding that for the next 6 months. Why? Because we honored it, we expressed it, we let it go. But we don't talk about that with a negative. What if my son got hurt? What if my son is going through a debilitating illness?
Right.
Why aren't we talking about that? Because
we
don't do that. God, why would you tell people the bad? Because it's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I learned very quickly within my first marriage to my son's father that I saw real clearly about that I'm not supposed to go anywhere in an abusive marriage. And I was abused in multiple ways. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, verbally, financially.
Sorry about it.
Let me tell you something. When I divorced him, I ended up having to file bankruptcy. That's how bad it was.
Shit.
Then it was the physical abuse, and then there was bouts of sexual abuse.
Yeah.
But again, we're not supposed to talk about that. No, you have a kid with him. You have to stay. This motherfucker's abusing me, and y'all know this shit. You still want me to stay with him? After I divorced him, I did have actual people in my family who disowned me, knowing what the fuck he did to me. Because again, you have to stay. You have a child with him. So what? So my fucking kid can see this shit and realize that's what he has to do to be in a relationship. That he has to sacrifice who he is for someone else.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. So after that, I woke up real quick. I woke up with my family. I started cutting them off. I stayed far away. I love my family. I love my family. I don't like a lot of them, and I'm very honest about it. I'm very honest about that shit. I'm very honest about that shit. No, I love every person in my family. I love their spirit. I don't like their fucking ego. There's a difference.
Right.
I love you, but I don't like what the fuck you do. There's a big difference. Right. And there's some people I don't deal with to this day, and they can say that way. I'm a heathen. I'm doing devil's work according to them.
Right.
That's alright. They can kiss my ass about that shit because every time they need something,
Sleep with the devil.
Yeah, he sleeps with the devil. But every time something happens, though, they be contacting my mother and telling my mother about their illness or their sickness or something so and so, and my mother would hit me up and say, you know, you need to pray for your so and so. Why? Because they fucking told you because they're too chicken shit to contact me, so because they know they're gonna get their ass read.
Right. Right.
The same shit you put me through because I was the odd child. I was I was the black sheep's daughter who heard shit at 3 years old, pulling her ear and shit. Sorry, just because you don't like it because you realize that our grandmother actually did this work in Cuba, and now you're holier than thou because you're Christian. Nothing against Christians because I was raised Christian and Catholic. I went to Catholic school.
Right.
I have nothing against religion.
Right.
I have nothing against religion. I have something against what people have done to religion. I love culture. I love my ancestors. I'm an ancestral rituals practitioner, for God's sake. I am the curandera. I am the consejera. I do this. I do this for a living. This is my life. This is not a fucking game. And everyone wants to be a fucking empath and this and the third. Shit, you didn't fucking love yourself. How you gonna be something you don't even do for yourself?
Right.
But I realized real quick that in my culture, in my family, that the women had to sacrifice everything.
Right.
And I don't think that was fair. Not that the men asked to be lenient because they didn't. They had fucking several pressures too. They had to always provide. They had to always have a job. They had to always be out of the house, sweating by their brow.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's right or that's wrong, but I realized that the men could do so much, but the women had to do everything. I had to make sure everybody's food's done, the clothes were clean, the house is done. Now that doesn't happen. Now in my house, we both do the work. Like seriously, I told him, I said, you want to help me out? You want me to feel better? I need help in the house. It's that simple.
Right.
But guess what? Now he be cleaning the house left and right. He helps me out. You know what? And that takes less load off of me, and that makes more time for me to spend with him.
Right.
Can I just ask a question? I don't want to interrupt you, but I've heard the word empath a couple of times now, and I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And I keep on trying to act like I know what it is.
No, an empath is a term now that everyone says they are, saying that they can feel other people's feelings.
Okay.
And they say, oh, I'm an empath, I feel what you feel. Shit, that's not an empath, that's being intuitive. Everybody has intuition. There's a difference, okay? There's a difference. And then there's also a difference from knowing what people are feeling or feeling those vibes, because guess what? You're going through sadness, you don't think she's gonna pick it up through a text message? She's gonna know because you guys are connected on that intuitive, energetic level. Remember, there's an energy going on between you two, a chemistry. And that precedes the body, that precedes space, that precedes building. You guys automatically know when something's wrong with each other. That's being intuitive. You know his energy, his energy knows you. Right. But then they can go to a point that you literally know why he's feeling the way he's feeling and what happened. Those events would be a psychic ability, like clairvoyance, like knowing things that are actually happening and why, the reason he's feeling the way he's feeling. Right. That's a psychic ability. But everyone says they're an empath these days. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah. You were born. Let me tell you, I tell people all the time. I'm sorry, maybe I'm old school, maybe I'm just way OG. I don't know why people teach these classes to be an empath or to be more intuitive. I teach you to tap into your own intuition. I don't teach you how to
get it.
Guess what? You're an intuitive now. No, I teach you how to listen and adhere and listen what's inside of you with your intuition. Right. Everybody wants to be a fucking healer. Everybody wants to be a psychic. Everybody wants to be a medium. I even
That's the fad right now.
That's the fact. And exactly, and it pisses me off. And like, I even seen people take mediumship classes.
No such
What?
thing. No such thing.
There's no such thing. I'm sorry. You know, this is what happens. You become a medium two ways. One, you were born where they're able to speak to spirits since birth. Right. See spirits that are not human anymore. Right. That have crossed over. Also, they could be other spirits of angelic or even demonic nature. Again, darker energies, lighter energies. And then there's ways that you can become a medium after a traumatic event, a life or death experience, or a outer body experience where you actually have been dead and come back. Like a car accident where you were in a coma and you come back and now you're like, oh, why do I know all this shit? Again, those are two ways to become a medium. My mother used to say this to me all the time. Una bruja se nace, no se hace. Right? Yep. Okay, and that's how you know what's true or not true. Now, some people have been awakened and stuff like that, and I'm not saying they don't have the ability, and maybe they're great at reading tarot cards, maybe they're great at doing oracle card readings, and maybe they're great at being a psychic.
What makes them great?
Fuck did I know?
Oh,
They
tarot
say.
card.
I mean, I do know.
You could read a tarot card.
I think I forgot my tarot card.
I was gonna bring my tarot card.
Y hoy tú
I'm tight.
So, my thing is that I don't have a problem with people saying they're doing all these things, but are you doing it because you want attention? Or are you doing it trying to enlighten yourself?
Right.
Are you doing it trying to make you the priority?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I learned very quickly after my own pain that my family said that I had to do things a specific way.
Yeah.
Which is great if we were passing fucking recipes, okay?
Right. Yeah.
If we were passing down how to make pollo guisado all day, okay, I'll take the fucking recipe because obviously it tastes good the way you make it. But that does not mean people's souls here.
Yeah.
My thing is that I learned very quickly after the abuse I felt and what I was going through even after the divorce, that I went through a very dark time in my life that I actually tried to commit suicide twice. And I'm very open about that. And I realized that why would I let somebody else's power over me and what they did to me diminish my life?
Right.
So then I started focusing on what do I need to do for me to make me the priority. And then I felt the guilt, like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be a good mom. What about my kid? What's he gonna think? And it was funny that my own kid was the one who asked me to divorce his father.
Wow.
At 5 years old, and then again at 7 years old. I told him the second time, I was like, there's not gonna be a third time.
Yeah.
So I divorced his father when he was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't see because we're so afraid of what other people are going to say that we get messages from the innocent or through numbers or through overheard conversations of something you were just thinking about.
Yeah.
And it just or a social media post you see over and over and over again in a short period of time.
Right.
Sometimes we need those messages to distract us to focus on the message instead of focus on our self-pity and our ego.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, okay. And then I went through my dark phase. I lost somebody very important to me, my grandfather. I was holding his hand when he passed away. I denounced God. I walked away from it all. I told him to fuck off. I'm like, how the fuck you would take the only person, the only man that gave a shit about me, my kid, my mom. We were all the dark the black sheep. You know, I had a kid who was black in a Cuban family.
Yeah.
Get got another.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
I got disowned by my grandfather at one point. I loved him, but he disowned me for choosing a black man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of shit went down. But it was through me going through those traumas and me going through those failures to realize that either I'm gonna let this shit break me or I'm gonna let it make me. And I tried doing shit on my own. I went to therapists. I think people who go to therapy, I'm very proud of you and I'm glad that you're being brave. But therapy doesn't work for everybody.
It doesn't.
Because I went to therapists. I went to 4 different therapists.
Yeah.
And some were women, some were men, some were of color,
Yeah.
some was not. And they're like, oh, so do you hear voices? I'm like, yeah, I've been hearing voices since I was 3 years old. It was automatic 24-hour psychiatric eval.
Wow.
Yep.
And
wow.
And then they put me on Prozac.
Oh God.
That might make me want to kill myself even more. So I stopped going to therapy because they automatically, I knew what the outcome was. I'm going to go to psychiatric eval. The minute I tell them I've been hearing voices since I was 3.
Right.
So long story short is that I've accepted all my failures to bring me where I need to be right now. And that was the case. And I didn't like going through it.
Right.
I still don't. I still have, you can tell I'm still going through shit on the regular. I don't like it. But I know it's necessary for my growth. It's because it's through my failures and through my traumas is where I learned the biggest lessons. And if I keep trying to avoid them, I'm going to miss out.
Yeah.
You know, and then that self-love is not only important, it's essential.
Yeah.
Because the more you love yourself, the more love you can attract. And then the more love you have to give everybody else you want.
Yeah.
Because of that, I've always told my son, you always gotta love yourself, gotta take care of yourself. And now because of that, now my son and I are very close.
Yeah.
Right? And he's very open with me. To the point that this is something the mother doesn't want to know.
Hey, I'm telling you.
And he's sitting here laughing because he can see me cringe during these conversations. But my son is very like that comfortable with me. He tells me about his sexual experiences, and I'm like, okay. He's like, tell her more. But as a mom, it makes me cringe. But as a woman, I'm so grateful that I have that communication with my son. But because he saw me bend over backwards for his father.
Right.
He saw me being in fear, being with this man. But he also saw me almost fall and take myself out. And he also saw me build myself back up. Yeah. And that door was always open. Yeah. And because I chose to love me more, I gave him the world.
And a lot of parents don't know that. A lot of parents think the opposite.
Yep, they think that make your children are your demigods.
Yeah.
We make them into these little demigods, and when they fucking shit on you and leave out the house or cuss your ass out,
Yeah.
then you're like, yo no sé por qué mi hijo está así, yo le doy el mundo. That's the fucking problem. You gave them the world, you didn't give yourself shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you expect your daughter to love you if you don't even love yourself? You don't think they can see that? They came from you. They can feel it.
Right.
They can feel when you don't love yourself.
Right.
So now it's to the point that we're getting my daughter into that phase of trying to be honest with herself and honest with us. But again, she's changing. Our youngest is changing. You know, she's becoming a little lady. Things are happening. Middle school is horrible. I think middle school is like the worst.
It's the worst time.
Yeah.
The worst time.
It was the worst time in my life.
You know, I think that she's still adjusting. She's a little bruja in itself. She's doing her own little spells. She shields herself every morning. She does the 1-2 combo. That's about prayer and meditation. I think that's essential. I literally have it tattooed on my forearm.
Ooh, yeah.
It's not a game. I'm not immune to it. For me to get answers, I can't read my own cards.
Yeah.
I cannot read my own candles. That's not how this works.
I've
Right.
been waiting for Mulatto.
Because it's gonna affect me.
Yeah,
I don't
you
get
can't
shit.
get it from him.
So exactly.
If I get it, I got you with a card.
I don't, people like, people pull their own cards. Do that if you want. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's your ego looking for something, not your spirit.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if the card's meant for me, it'll literally fly out the deck while I'm picking it up. And I always have a witness. He's usually my daughter, the youngest. She's like, that card just fell out. That's for you, Mom. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
So she'll pick, and I'm like, I don't want to touch it. She'll pick it up and she'll read it to me. I'm like, I don't want to get involved. Like now, for me to light my own candles, I'll either get a candle from one of my friends, or if I get a candle for him or something, or if I get a candle for my daughter, they'll pray over it. If I want a candle for me, I'll have Izzy do it. I'll have Devontae. I've even had him pray over candles.
Right.
He's not. He said, he's a muggle.
He's a muggle.
So, but again, it's just honoring who you are first, and then you have more to give to everybody else.
Yes.
And that's the key. People keep forgetting that, I have to take care of everybody else. No, you want to take care of everybody. You don't need to. There's a difference.
Right.
Like, I'm a mom. I want to love my children. I'm like, yeah, but you're resenting them because you're giving them everything. You're giving yourself shit.
Right.
You best believe Mama gonna get her nails done. You best
Yes.
believe I'm gonna get my massage.
Right.
You best believe I'm gonna take care of, because if I'm fucked up, guess what happens? That shit trickles down the whole family.
Yeah.
It bounces to him, then it bounces to the kids, and even fucks up the animals, believe it or not.
Yeah. No, animals pick up on everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is always making yourself the priority and then taking time for yourself. And that's still really difficult for me because I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
I work about 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
I work now more than I did when I actually had a regular job.
Wow.
So I work more. You can ask him every morning, and he'll try to talk to me, and I'm doing the candle readings in the morning.
Like, yo.
I'm like, leave. Can I get candles? Bye. And I'm staring at the candles. I'm staring at the candles. I'm like, and I'm literally channeling information. I'm literally emailing my clients in my phone. Like,
wow.
I'm just, again, the minute I wake up, I start.
Yeah.
To the time I go to sleep. Now there's breaks in between. Don't get it twisted. But still, it's this job, this mission, this path is not for everyone. And that's why it really pisses me off that everyone says they are something that they're not.
Yeah.
When you go into this, you don't choose this.
Right.
See, that's the thing. Everybody's trying to be something that they're not. You don't choose this.
Right.
You get chosen.
Yep.
And if you keep running from it, you'll get dragged from your heels right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I denounce God, denounce spirit, denounce all of that shit.
Yeah.
When I realized I couldn't do shit alone, I asked, I'm so sorry, I fucked up, I need help. But are you gonna do what we tell you to do? It's exactly what I fucking heard. You're gonna do what we tell you to do? Because we're here to help you, not to hurt you. And with attitude, fine. Just stop this shit from happening. Because I kept getting sent to the psychiatric eval. I'm like, stop this from happening.
Right.
Okay. Take care of yourself. I could do that. Still couldn't do it. I was still worried about my kids, still worried about what my mom said. I still worried about what other people would think of me. That's the fucking problem. We were so worried about what everyone else is going to think of us.
Right.
But after that, now that's the motto in the house. Like, do you. Pray, meditate, center yourself, set yourself, and then keep moving. And then,
Love yourself first.
love yourself first. I even tell him, I said, you need to be shielding your ass from me. Like, why would you want to pick up the shit I deal with all day long?
Right.
The first person I shield myself from after I prayed, I meditated for myself, I made sure I come first. Then I shield myself from everybody's negative energy and low vibration. First person I shoot myself from is from him.
Right.
And it's not intentional, but he's the closest thing to me.
Right.
His energy is toxic, they can kill me because he has his own life. He has his colleagues, his clients, his relationship with the kids, his friends, and he brings that shit home. What do you think I'm gonna pick up? I'm gonna pick that shit up, and then we sleep together.
Right.
We can have the best night of fucking sex our entire life, right?
Right.
20 minutes later, I'm like this. Where can I go sleep? Because I just literally took all his energy in. Literally.
Right.
It's an energy transfer.
Right.
And I told him, I said, you need to chill. Why would you want this?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You know? So now he's shielded himself, and then like I remember he asked me, like, what about the kids? I'm like, especially the fucking kids. Because my kids are not only connected to me biologically, they're connected to me energetically. Because my two children, this is hereditary in my bloodline.
Yeah.
They have the ability, I have the ability. My mother has it as much as she wants to deny she doesn't have it. She was at my event in Florida and she was reading all my fucking clients, okay? I have witnesses. My grandmother had it, my great-grandmother had it. My great-great-grandmother had it, my great-great-great-grandmother had it, and then also my great-grandfathers as well, because they were master masons in Cuba. And my grandfather, the one who raised me, he was all about reincarnation. So again, it wasn't just the typical Cuban diaspora of Santeria or Catholicism. They believed in science, they believed in the masonry, they believed in theology, they believed in reincarnation, they believed in multiple cultures.
Right.
And when I started realizing that I came first, all of these things came back to me, flooded, like, now I see what they're teaching me.
Right.
And your ancestors are amazing. They taught you beautiful things in this life, but they also taught you some really negative habits.
Right.
As well, even addictions.
Right.
That is passed down by our ancestors.
Yeah.
But it's you get to choose what you pick and what you want to take with you.
Yeah.
You still have a choice at the end of the day. And you have to choose you. You seriously, we keep forgetting that we are the most important person in our universe.
Yeah.
I tell this in every reading. I even told you, we came in this world by ourselves,
Yeah.
we're going out by ourselves.
Yeah.
You can't take none of these suckers with you.
Yeah.
I love my husband and I love my children, but you best believe I love me more. And it's still a process at times because I still tend to gravitate to that same behavior. Like, oh, the kids. Wait, shut the fuck up. You first.
Yeah.
Like, snap out of it, girl. No, like, you know.
Yeah.
I have to check my own ego. Like, girl, don't do it to yourself. You start. Right. Me first, then my husband, then my kids. Because at the end of the day, my kids are gonna believe.
Right.
And if I don't maintain the relationship with him, and if I don't maintain the relationship with him, then I'm gonna be in a household with him, empty nest syndrome, and I'm gonna fucking hate him because we never built a relationship, even with the kids. Like now we have to actually have dates. That's mandatory now.
Yeah.
We've gone for a while without dates because life passes by.
Right.
Yeah, that shit ain't working.
Yeah.
That we get on each other's fucking nerves. And that we don't actually spend time together.
Right.
Like this, even doing this is our day out. So after we're done here, we're gonna keep on going the day out.
Yeah.
Because we have so much else going on in the household.
Right.
I'm making time for myself. He's gonna make time for himself, and we can make time for each other.
Right.
But honestly, we need to put ourselves first. And that's one thing I have seen in him because he came from the same type of lineage that
Right.
you're a man. I am man, hear me roar, I don't cry, I don't speak.
That's right.
See?
Wow.
You see? And that shit doesn't fly in the house. That shit, he learned good after a good, 2 years?
Something like that.
2 years. After about 2 years, I was like, this is not gonna happen. We're not gonna stay together. You're gonna have to leave. Something's gonna go down. Cause I can't keep making you talk to me. And that was him being born in Puerto Rico, coming from a generational lineage of we don't talk.
Right.
And the things that I saw in his family was very evident in him. Like the men, I am men, we roar, we don't talk.
Right.
No!
You don't ask for directions, right?
Yeah, we don't.
You didn't even ask for
For
directions.
real. To this day, he can get me pissed off. I'm like, you got a GPS in your phone.
Yeah.
Shit, at least do that. You don't have to ask nobody. You got
Navigation.
Do you see what I'm saying? But that, again, and he's seen the difference. Once I really started investing more in myself, he saw that I had more to give him. With the more that I was stressed out, I had to do everything all on my own because I swore I could do it all too. That's another thing us women think we can do it all. I'm independent and stuff. Shut the fuck up. You didn't come in this world by yourself.
Yeah.
It took two people to make you. Even if your mama was, inseminated, it still took another person to bring your ass here.
Right.
You need assistance, and that's why I always talk about the divine team, or your unseen squad, or your ancestors,
Right.
or your archangels, whatever you believe in. Your saints, your orishas, the elemental beings. If you believe in the universe, if you believe in the planets, the sun, the moon, whatever that is, They're there to help you. They don't push their ethics. They don't push their religion. They don't push their politics on you. They don't